Here's why an Iowa nursing home is being sued 17 times for wrongful death cases after 17 residents died within 16 months. My name is Paige Sparks. I'm a lawyer. Most of these are going to be wrongful death cases that I want to bring to your attention, but there is one whistleblower case where one of the nurses tried to report it and the nursing home allegedly retaliated. Care Initiatives in Iowa is a major nursing home facility, and they are facing several lawsuits. These legal claims range from wrongful death allegations stemming from lack of care or negligence from having untreated wounds, ranging all the way to a whistleblower came from a former employee who alleges that there was a cover-up. Some of the lawsuits have already been resolved and settled outside of court, and Care Initiative denies all wrongdoing related to these allegations, and some of them are being forced to go through arbitration, and you already know how I feel about arbitration. This company cares for 2,800 patients that receive care from its state licensed facilities or assisted living facilities. The whistleblower claim comes from a former employee who says she was fired after she refused to change a patient's chart when the director of nursing told her to. According to the lawsuit, in October 2024, this former employee saw a patient that had schizophrenia and was wheelchair bound get in an argument with a human resources employee. Why it was a human resources employee, I have no idea. The lawsuit alleges that when this patient tried to leave the conversation in the wheelchair, the HR employee grabbed the wheelchair by the handles and caused this patient to fall out of the wheelchair, which caused injury. The HR employee was allegedly joking about the event after this happened, and the employee that witnessed this detailed everything that happened in the patient's chart because they were very concerned for the patient's well-being. The very next day, the director of nursing texted this employee and said, "We need you to strike out your original note and rewrite that this person caused their own injury, that we were trying to de-escalate the situation, and he fell out of the wheelchair on his own." This employee refused to change the chart, saying that is not accurate, that is not what happened, and after they went back and forth about it a few times, the employee then reported them to the Iowa Department of Health and Human Services. That complaint was forwarded to the Iowa Department of Inspections, and there was an incident report made. The day after that complaint was made, the nursing home fired that employee. She has alleged that she was fired in retaliation for reporting unlawful activity, which is what we call a whistleblower complaint. A common theme in the other 17 wrongful death claims against the nursing home involve the patients arriving alert and in otherwise good condition, but with a condition like pneumonia or something that needs treatment and monitoring, and then they die in the facility a couple days later. The lawsuits are disturbing. A lot of the families suing on behalf of the deceased are saying they had staffing shortages, they didn't treat wounds, and they had pressure sores, which led to the patients becoming septic and dying. A lot of the other cases involve the patients falling when they're not being supervised or properly monitored, and they either break bones or some have brain bleeds from falling and hitting their head. One of the other families sued the facility after the deceased suffered heat sores and pressure sores from a heating element that was left too close to her bed, and the sores became infected. One of the families is suing the facility, alleging that when their relative was removed from the bed, staff dropped her, breaking both of her legs, and instead of properly assessing the damage and taking care of her for medical treatment, they just put her back in bed. She died 2 days later. A lot of the wrongful death claims involved allegations that the facility falsified medical records, which when you couple that with the whistleblower allegations, that kind of checks out with the overall pattern we're seeing. If you have family at a Care Initiatives facility, I would check on them and maybe look into moving them, because the couple of claims that I've mentioned took place over the last 16 months, and they're part of those 17 overall claims. As an employee, if you're ever put in a situation like this where your employer is asking you to do something unlawful, asking you to change records, things that you know are wrong, talk with a lawyer in your state. These whistleblower claims can be very complicated. If you don't do things exactly the right way, you may not have protections. Comment to let me know what you think.